They're putting themselves in the rest, digest, repair nervous system every morning and every night as they take on using these plants and this sacred, it really, there's a word for it in Korean, is they use volcanic water from Jeju Island. It's called volcanic lava energy water. And it's outrageously pure because it's sequestered way deep under the ocean, and the way that the rainwater comes down and hits all the volcanic rock. And then the way the ocean pressure pushes it away, there's no toxin. There's no even ocean radiation. Like, this water is so pure, and it grabs all the minerals from hundreds of thousands of years old. That's how old this is, this volcano. So there's minerals in it that we don't have anywhere else. Like, we don't even know what these things are. And it has a high frequency resonant charge.
Have you ever considered what your beauty routine is really costing you? Not in just dollars, but in health. The average woman puts over 500 chemicals that are toxic on her body every single day. And men too. From morning routines to makeup, moisturizers to miracle injections, shaving creams, hair growth prescriptions. Your skin, your largest organ, absorbs all of it, sending these toxins straight into your bloodstream. These aren't harmless. Many are actually endocrine disruptors linked to hormonal imbalances, fertility issues, thyroid dysfunction, weight gain, nervous system damage, and even cancer. Studies reveal these toxins are key contributors to spinal misalignments, chronic pain, autoimmunity, and more. So this isn't just a beauty issue. It's a nervous system crisis. And probably like you, I learned the hard way. Once I saw firsthand these toxins showing up on my patients and my own toxic lab analysis, I woke up to the reality that we all have to clean up our personal care routine. So if your spine hurts, your mood swings, or your skin just isn't bouncing back the way it used to, maybe it's not age or genes. Maybe it's what you're putting on your body. And the so-called beauty solutions were sold as the norm: injectables, fillers, peels, just more toxins in the name of beauty, which are slowly killing parts of your body that will never grow back, causing permanent damage. But now there's another way. A Korean skincare solution so clean it's made of topical vitamins that penetrate deep through the skin to restore, repair, and regenerate from the cellular level up. Beauty that begins with health. And the results? Undeniable. Unfiltered, real, and overnight. These are virtually no skin conditions that it can't fix, as you can see in these before and after photos. With over 300 million in global sales, this viral movement is taking the wellness world by storm, embraced by chiropractors, functional medicine doctors like myself, and even med spas praising these cosmeceuticals, which produce hard to believe results like this. Why? Because it's actually skincare infused with topical vitamins and clinical grade actives that treat your skin like a living organ, not a canvas to cover up. Stick with us till the end, because we're going to show you how to join this clean beauty revolution at prices that just might make your esthetician sweat and your teenager want to actually do their chores to earn. Ready, set, let's glow.
Welcome, and this is super exciting. This is part one of non-toxic beauty. Now we've got a 3-guest expert panel, and you're going to like these docs. First, Dr. Diane Kaiser, board-certified traditional naturopathy, founder of Chi Ministry, now a global leader that works bridging advanced science with ancient wisdom. And then a sister from another doctor, Dr. Stephanie Rimka, founder of Brain and Body Solutions, holistic brain health expert and speaker, blending neuroscience, trauma healing, bioenergetics, along with sovereignty, thank God. And a special guest, Brianna Michael, founder, social CEO, speaker, featured in the best-selling book, I Decide, a 7-figure earner in an e-commerce and helping entrepreneurs scale with impact. Now, can each of you please briefly introduce yourselves and your stories that led you here? Dr. Stephanie, can we start with you?
Absolutely. Hey, everybody. So, Dr. Rimka here. I started off working in the mental health space with schizophrenics, and that brought me to become a doctor of chiropractic. And my whole mission there was to work with schizophrenics and drug addicts and alcoholics. So, I went to school with a very unique intention. In that journey, my nephew was diagnosed with autism. So, I took a detour into the deep world of autism, and I've never looked back. So I practice chiropractic. I'm board certified in neurofeedback, trauma releasing exercises, orthomolecular psychiatry, Well's protocol, GAPS diet. I'm pretty much doing anything and everything I can short of doing a handstand to help people take back their bodies and their lives from what the Western Rockefeller system may say is incurable. And I call BS on most of the dogma and the gaslighting in the medical industry. And I help people regulate their nervous system and bring themselves back to themselves. And I have found myself somewhat by accident in the beauty industry, but ultimately, beauty is biology, not vanity, and it is an expression of your nervous system. So actually, at 52, it makes perfect sense that this is where I'm at.
Oh my God, brilliant. Dr. Diane, this is a great panel. Can you describe what brought you to this point?
Yeah, absolutely. And I apologize, you guys. My screen is all glitchy today, so you might see me going off and on cam because I'm trying to reset it. I fell into this myself. Actually, I fell into a needle. I fell into some breast implants. I fell into the trap of toxic beauty and the beauty brainwashing is what I call it. On that, so many women. I know when you're listening and you're like, I get it. We're under so much pressure to look like the Kardashians, look like Hollywood. I was a bikini competitor, pro soccer player. And so I'm all about high performance, but high performance when it comes to the beauty industry is unfortunately leading everybody down the path of lesser performance, because what we don't realize is that the toxins that we are using to try to look younger are actually making us uglier on the inside. And therefore we need to use more and more of them. So I made a movie called Dying to be Beautiful. I wrote a book called Killer Breasts, which you can't see behind me, but it's up there, to help women understand that these are the things that we think that we need to do, we should do, because everybody else is group thinking to do these things so we can be accepted. And I think there's a degree of competitiveness in there, and we don't need to do that. So today's whole conversation is about how we all three, as well as millions of other women all around the world, and men too, and children, teenagers especially, who are buying Sephora like crazy. You don't need to poison your body to be beautiful. It actually is beautiful to add things to your body that are like medicine to the skin so that we can age gracefully without feeling like the need and the pressure to conform to the needles. So I'm here to talk about that. I'm a detox expert. I'm a holistic health coach. I train people to do this very thing with their own clinics. And I'm super excited to share this with you guys today.
Very cool. And Brianna, is it Mikhail or?
It's Michael. It's a French
Michael.
spelling of Michael, actually.
Oh, cool. I've got a son, Michael. So what brought you to this part of your life?
You know, I'm honestly so grateful for people like Dr. Rimka and Dr. Kaiser and yourself that bring awareness to topics like this, because I was under the beauty brainwashing. I'm coming from a consumer standpoint where I thought that Botox and filler and breast implants were something that were pushed in Western civilization and talked about regularly. And so that was something that was the road that I thought I had to go down. And I'm so grateful that I'm now realizing that there are alternative things that you can do. And I myself am recovering from breast implant illness. I have to thank Dr. Rimka for being my doctor to help me walk that road. And the reason why now I tend to come from more of a business background. I love to analyze trends, marketing, business opportunities. And so when I'm looking at the beauty industry, you know, here in our culture and trying to find alternative ways of that, that's what led me to Korean skincare. And, you know, the search for Korean skincare is up over 350% in North America alone, because it's an alternative way to build back and strengthen the skin barrier without using methods to tear it down, like retinol, like Botox, like fillers. And so when I combined an alternative way to feel youthful and beautiful with an opportunity to make money, it was a no-brainer for me.
Wow. Now, many practitioners including the three of you, are moving away from conventional beauty standards. Now, what have been the turning points and practices you've adopted instead? And Dr. Dan, what are you recommending now?
Yeah, I mean, what we're going to talk about today for sure in part 1 and part 2. So there's a lot of women that don't realize, or people that don't realize, that everything you become is directly related to what you put on your skin. So what you're putting in your skin becomes a part of you immediately, and it's not separate. So as you know, Dr. B, you talk about this all the time, which is why you're such a superhero, that the body is holistically connected, and one thing affects everything. And so it's not just that we're slathering sunscreen. I wish we could change that too, by the way. We all wish we could help people understand that you need the sun for everything. But I came from a background where I was doing the tanning booths, and I was doing the fake spray tanning, to compete on stage. And really it was Botox that almost killed me. I did Botox, I did pink hair, I was doing MAC makeup, lots of it. And I also had breast implants. And so, like I said earlier, all of those things together created this tsunami within my body, where it wasn't just one thing, it was the collective. It was all of the things that I was doing, and all of that became this toxic bucket inside of it. I call it the goddess glass, and it just overflowed. And I tried everything. At that point, it was 6-7 years ago. And here I am, a natural doctor, and I am struggling with allergies and sensitivities. And there was many things I couldn't eat, which is very common for every patient that comes to me who has breast implants or has done Botox. And I started making the connection that it wasn't just the mold in my environment. My environment was poisoning me because I was poisoning me, because our beauty brainwashing, our culture was poisoning me. It's poisoning all of us. So I one day just realized this is the big picture of me putting a mask on, thinking that I need to be somebody else. And it was a surrender. It was a deep surrender to then say, you know what, I'm going to do the beautiful things for myself, because to that point, I thought I was building my beauty, but I was actually tearing it down. So I learned everything I could about the dangers of Botox, the dangers of breast implants. I have some slides that I'll share today of some real statistics of how Botox has poisoned and killed a lot of people, as well as fillers. And please don't hate us. Please don't hate us for being here and taking away your toys. We do believe in moderation, but I don't think that Botox moderation is one of them. So I think that what we're going to share today is going to be a healthy alternative, because it's not about saying, hey, stop building your beauty. It's about how can we do this naturally, and not just the creams that you see that you use that you spend $300 on. Just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's going to work. Just because, someone of the Kardashians has made it doesn't mean it's going to be the best. In fact, most of the time it's actually going to be the worst in the long run. So there is a way, and we're going to show you today, because people don't also get this. 1/3 of women with breast implants are attacking their own collagen. And what that means is that you have these things in your body, and that over time you start to look older in an effort to look younger. So it's a big message. And please, mothers, you're showing your teenage girls and the future generation how to either look beautiful naturally or to age ungracefully, so that you have to do more and more of those very toxic things over time.
Man. And Brianna, I mean, you had a slap. I mean, getting anyone that gets a foreign object implanted in their body is going to have a negative reaction. But that had to have been a huge turning point. What kind of other practices have you incorporated?
Oh my goodness. I mean, honestly, if I could go back to the breast implants, I mean, because for years, I mean, I had them for 7 years, and my health kept declining, and I thought, surely it can't be that. And so when I kept putting it off as a last resort, and then finally, when I reached the end of the road, I thought, you know what, I'd rather be safe than sorry, got them out. And then it allowed my body the ability to start healing. And it really made me start thinking about, well, what else am I putting on my skin? Your skin is the largest organ, and we absorb everything into our bloodstream immediately. That's why you have to check things. I use the Yuka app to check things. I am careful about the cosmetics and the makeup and the skincare that I'm putting on my body, when I'm putting on my hair. And so I just started swapping everything out. I started scanning everything like a crazy person. I can guarantee you I probably scanned 75% of the products at Sephora, just curious. And it's really sad to me that these are being marketed to our youth. And we're a population that keeps getting sicker. And so that's why I want to bring awareness to how important it is. Women automatically are at a disadvantage because I believe, what is it, like over, 800 chemicals or toxins we're exposed to before we even walk out of the house. I mean, just stepping into our bathroom and then into our kitchens. And so that's where I want to bring awareness that there are alternative ways. There are alternative things that you can do with Botox. Instead of getting Botox, you can use things like frownies, which kind of make a mask on your skin to kind of freeze it tight where you can sleep in it overnight. There are things like Korean skincare that don't tear down the skin barrier but make it stronger, and you don't have those toxins seeping into the bloodstream. So that's where I would say, from a consumer standpoint, where I've started. And then, of course, following women like these that bring this awareness, and they, of course, do all the research on alternatives that you can swap out in your home.
Oh man. And Dr. Rimke, at my clinic down in Mexico, we do explant surgeries all the time. We're identifying toxic effect on these products on everyone. What kind of practices have you adopted? Because I know you've seen similar damage.
Oh, yeah. And I've unfortunately been the person. So I'm known for mental health. People come to me for autism, ADHD, depression, suicidal ideation, schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder, bipolar. And PTSD, things like that. That's what I'm known for. That's what all the doctors in Atlanta refer to me for, and what I do. Seizures and concussions. Like seizures and concussions are easy in my office. Like that's the easy stuff. But schizophrenia is a little bit more complicated, right? So the only reason I started even having to deal with this was the massive impact it was having on the mental health of my patients. Unlike these other two women, what you heard, I guess I'm just incredibly, I don't know, blessed that I wasn't really into the beauty industry propaganda. I didn't really care about it. My mother just wore lipstick and mascara. She was very simple. I'm a child of the 70s. Nobody really cared. And although I was a runway, print, and TV model, I only wore makeup in a photo shoot or on being filmed. That was it. I just wasn't into any of it. So I didn't even, the thought of altering my body just sounded absolutely, it just sounds, why would anybody do that? And I also was blessed to start getting adjusted by a chiropractor when I was 16. And the philosophy of a chiropractor, or a true naturopath as well, is very different than Western society's medical brainwashing. So he was dripping into me constantly about the rightness of my body, the order of my body, the divine intelligence of my body. So it wouldn't have even dawned on me to do any manipulation. Like, why would you do that? Like, it just sounded so awful. It just sounds like why would anybody hate themselves that much that they would? That's how I just automatically saw it, as mutilation. And then I chose not to go to medical school, and I became a chiropractor. And so I had the blessing of 4 years of brainwashing and deprogramming in chiropractic school. So I stopped using antiperspirant, all regular products. I threw out my TV, all of this when I was 23, 24 years old in school. So they taught us all of this. So I've been using non-toxic products and not into that whole thing for forever. This is just my normal way of being. I forget other people use toothpaste with fluoride in it. I'm like, what? Like, I just don't live in that world. I wouldn't buy something from Target or Walmart ever and put it on my body. All my son, I have organic linen sheets. My son never took a bath in his whole life with fluorinated water. I have whole house water. This is just the way I've been doing this for 30 years. It's just in my being. But for me, I had to start having this conversation with patients because of what I saw. I saw increased anxiety, insomnia, tinnitus, even deafness, lots of nerve damage coming from the injectables, Botox. Like, they're coming to me for neurofeedback for anxiety. And as I dissect this, I'm like, it's coming from the injections. You don't know this? And I've had to be the one to have that conversation, to say it. Do you think this could be my breast implants? I 100% know it's from this. I can't believe a plastic surgeon put implants in a 25-year-old girl with lupus, and you're shocked you're sick and you can't walk now? 2 years later. I mean, it's such an obvious storyline. So, like, I'm often the person to just say, you don't need this, you need this. And let me send you to the surgeon that I work with, and she's going to take these out. I'm going to tell you right now, don't make an appointment. She's not doing a consult. They're coming out. And then I can help detox and help restore. But I don't think you are depressed. I don't think you're anxious. I don't think you have a mental illness. I think you're being slowly poisoned to death from inside. So that's where I've come to it. And then, of course, I have to teach them all these biohackings. I'm very well versed in them in using peptide therapy for over a decade. I do electromagnetic medicine. I use lots of light panels. So I use lots of PEMF, lots of light, ozone, and peptides and chelation and lots of things like that to help the system regenerate, regrow, exosomes, So I partner with some very intense partners here in Atlanta, as well as the therapy doing trauma release, because there's a lot of medical trauma that's also associated with this. So to clean up a woman's guilt, that she often is beating herself up and like I have to deal with that part too. So it's all it's all part of the cycle of it's okay. You made a mistake, or like, we're not going to beat yourself up. I love you, you love yourself. And so I have to deal with the emotional, psychological turmoil of this whole process as well. So that's a big part of what I do.
I want to say something about the lupus. I had a patient 5-6 years ago. She had breast implants. They were in for 35 years. And they're supposed to be changed out every 10 years. Not that we want to make this all about breast implants, but she had breast implants for 35 years. She had been diagnosed with lupus. She was referred to me, and we had barely been a month in, and she went and did a mammogram, didn't tell me because I would have advised her against it, because no woman with breast implants should get a mammogram. And they did a mammogram, her breast implants ruptured, and she died. So this is a very serious issue. And we're not just here to talk about just skincare and everything. This is a whole epidemic of the beauty brainwashing, and we are on a mission to make it stop now.
It is. It's insane. Insane that they would put toxic in any time you get a foreign object implanted in a human being. There's going to be some type of rejection. That's how human beings work. And so we know botulism. We know the fillers are toxic. We know the breast implants are toxic. I mean, they're also, medications, the toxic food, all of this stuff negatively affects the skin. I mean, that's crazy. Now, I love this. Trends come and go all the time. And in regular practice, when you're working with patients, you can see Botox damage. You can see the damage that's apparent. Now, why do you think that Botox or nothing is the mindset? And hopefully now it's becoming outdated. And what are the natural alternatives? Like what you're talking about, lymph flow, collagen production. What are the natural alternatives to getting a neurotoxin that can cause brain damage?
Yeah, I like to show a couple things first here so people can really get us the idea. People know it's toxic, but they don't necessarily do better because of the knowing. So Botox is so toxic that 100 nanograms is enough to kill a fully grown human, and 1 kilogram would be enough to wipe out the human race. And what we've even seen is then when people are using Botox, this is the reports. So it's not enough oftentimes for us to say it's toxic, but it's important for you to see that these have actually been reported, these injuries. So we all know the FDA adverse events reporting system, the FAERS public database. And what we found in just the end of 2023 is that there were 70,000 plus total cases that were reported, 10,500 close to serious cases, and 866 deaths. Now, this, we also know that about 1% of doctors or patients will even report, because they don't make the connection, because oftentimes with Botox, the symptoms and the side effects can show up not only the next day or a couple of weeks later, but it could be months, it could be years. So many people be like, oh, I got Botox last week or yesterday. People say it didn't do any damage. It must be something else. It must have been the food I ate. It must have been something I was putting on my body, or maybe it's my significant other. Could be that too, especially if they want you to get Botox. But let's add 1 or 2 zeros to these numbers here. 700,000, maybe 7 million total cases, because we know that people don't report properly. So this is very important. It could have been 8,000 plus, could have been 80,000 deaths. I've seen it happen in my practice. And what's really great is that explosive study has shown that 80% of patients getting anti-wrinkle jabs suffer side effects like headaches, brain fog, and panic attacks. Then they go see Dr. Rimka and go, why am I having panic attacks, right? So these are the slides that I showed when Dr. Rimka and I met each other at a medical conference, and people went, wait, I didn't know it was this bad. These are the side effects: headaches, dizziness, pain, panic attacks, tinnitus. Then people go in for the pain that was caused by the Botox, and they get recommended more Botox for the pain that they get from the Botox that caused it. Here are the studies. 75% of the patients had some sort of autoimmune marker when they've actually looked at these findings. 1/3 of the patients have increased rate of infections, and also sensitivity to food and medications was present in 62.5% of the patients. Sensitivity is especially pronounced to serotonin uptake inhibitors, coffee, sugar, and alcohol, which almost uniformly worsen the symptoms of patients. So this, and Guillain-Barré. This is another study that you guys can go look more into as well. The treatment of facial asymmetry. They're using Botox when people have facial asymmetry that was caused by other things like the jabs. This is what I found extremely repulsive, is that when people came in, they're going, oh, I have some paralysis of my face that was caused very shortly thereafter getting a jab. And they're using Botox to paralyze the other side. Instead of treating the side that was paralyzed by something else, they're making both sides of the face paralyzed. So this keeps going on. You guys, I have lots of slides, but I'll end right here. Fillers also, because we're not exempt with just Botox, fillers cause cancer due to lymphatic blockage, like Dr. B just said, is that how can we drain our face, which is significantly poisoned now, which is why we have so much brain fog, dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and many other things that are diagnosed in a box, but no one's asking what caused it. So we need to ask the question of, how did I get here? So this hopefully will be enough for you guys to go, okay, well, what do I do instead? And I'll let the other ladies take it away from here.
Yeah, no, I'm traveling through Korea 6 times a year, and you always hear about Korean skincare, and I mean it's popular around the world. Now, what Dr. Rimka, what makes your experience about RIMAN's approach to skin biohacking? Why are they so different?
Well, and so here I'm going to give you a pro tip on how to remember the word, because we were all saying it wrong too. So RIMAN. So it means rebirth. So think rebirth, regenerate, renew, right? That's what RIMAN means. It actually means rebirth. And I was in Korea too, and I went to their smart farms and the water lab. I went to all the labs and watching it all. I tasted the plants. I went and saw how it was all done there with Brianna. As a matter of fact, we went last year, and it's extraordinarily different. So they have ingredients and sourcing. So there's at least 16 patents right now. You go on the interwebs. He's applied for even more. So I think he almost gets a new patent almost every month. On these products. You can't get them anywhere else. And he overtook the number one skincare company in Korea that was holding the position for over 50 years. He overtook them in the last few years. It's only a 7-year-old company. So I think within 3 to 5 years, he came out and knocked them off the top spot, which is unheard of. It's because he has unprecedented technology. So he took the ancient Korean heritage plants and the ancient K-beauty way of where mothers were teaching their daughters, like, this is time for you to take care of yourself. This is a sacred moment. Again, back to what is, I'll say first, I think probably the greatest cognitive enhancer, beauty enhancer, detox enhancer, life extension enhancer is good sleep. Like, if you don't do that, we got nothing. After that, I'm going to say it's love and pleasure. Like, that is a real medicine. And so loving and pleasuring the self is very important. And how we treat ourselves is how we teach the world to treat us. So these mothers, they slow it down and they teach their daughters very young, like, no. You don't rush through this. This is time for you. You take care of yourself. So I don't think they're thinking about lymphatic massage and draining the lymph out of the face and the brain to keep the brain from gunking up. I don't think they're thinking about that. I don't think they're thinking about vagal tone, the cranial nerve that goes into the face. And as they're rubbing and taking the time with the oil and the cleansing and all that, they're not thinking about, parasympathetic tone, but that is what they're doing. They're putting themselves in the rest, digest, repair nervous system every morning and every night as they take on using these plants and this sacred, it really, there's a word for it in Korean, is they use volcanic water from Jeju Island. It's called volcanic lava energy water. And it's outrageously pure because it's sequestered way deep under the ocean, and the way that the rainwater comes down and hits all the volcanic rock. And then the way the ocean pressure pushes it away, there's no toxin. There's no even ocean radiation. Like, this water is so pure, and it grabs all the minerals from hundreds of thousands of years old. That's how old this is, this volcano. So there's minerals in it that we don't have anywhere else. Like, we don't even know what these things are. And it has a high frequency resonance charge. It has it like from the radiation that came off. So it makes everything bigger and better. And so he grew the plant, a very famous plant called Centella asiatica, tiger grass, because tigers roll in it in Asia because it's anti-inflammatory and it heals their wounds. So the plants are medicine, but he took the plant and he grew it in the water. He says, I wonder what would happen here. Well, it grew 5 times the size. It's called giant Centella asiatica, or giant byung pool. He put a patent on it. So he made a whole new plant without GMO because he grew it in this water that makes everything regenerate. They use the water medicinally in Korea to treat diabetes, hypertension, hangovers, all kinds of things. Like, it's a whole separate treatment over there. And he's the only person allowed by the Korean government to use this water, they couldn't translate the word. They were trying, I said, it's sacred, holy, medicinal water is what it is. Like, they just didn't know what to say because no one can do pilgrimages to it because it's underneath the ocean. So they have to drill down to pull it out. So that's that's the water that's in all the products. And it's the special plant. He extracts the serum fresh because he grows it farm to face. So he grows the plants, he has the water, he does the entire production in Korea hands-on himself. So that's giving us access to something. Now it's in America the last 2 years. We didn't have access to this stuff. They've only had in Korea. If you were flying there, you could get it. Otherwise, you didn't know about Jeju lava water. You didn't know about giant byung pool. So now I do have this topical information, really, which is really information I can give a person's body, but I don't want to say sleep is important. Sleep will help your beauty. Lymphatic massage will help your beauty. There's facial acupuncture. There's red light therapy. And there's loving yourself. There's laughing. There's having fun. I don't ever want to underscore the things that are free and available to us, like human connection, laughter, and joy. Okay, because that does make you radiate. In addition to taking your time with the creams and the serums. So I know that was a long answer, but there's that.
100%. And we were talking about physical, chemical, emotional stress. All 3 got to be addressed in order to help tissue production. And tissue production is like, without that, we don't live, we don't grow. And I mean, this is fantastic that it's all coming from nature. Now, RIMAN products, when you put it on the skin, because anything you put on the skin gets in the body, what happens when you put this material on the skin and it gets in? I know you've mentioned the term from the inside out. How does it affect the other systems of the body?
So I will say, just to echo what Dr. Rimsha said, Korea is the skincare capital of the world. And you have to realize that in the hardest market in the entire world to go #1 in, this became the #1 searched for Korean skincare for a reason. And like she said, they were studying tiger grass. Tigers would roll around in this because it would heal their wounds faster. And then he created his own patented strain of it. And because he is the #1 formulator in Korea, he has access to that energy lava water. And he's the only scientist licensed in cosmetics to be able to use it. And so the reason why this is working so quickly on the skin, I'm talking 5 to 7 days, you're going to see a difference. You're going to feel a difference right away. You're going to see it in a week. And One of the reasons is because not only does he have 12 different patents on the skincare, but it's a cosmeceutical. So it can do things that regular skincare cannot do. And what defines it is it uses a microfluidizing process. So it's able to penetrate to the deepest layer of skin. It actually heals from the cellular level, from the inside out. This is why you're seeing results so quickly, but a lot of times it's a little bit scary when you go deep into the skin, when things cross over that blood barrier, because what are you pushing into your skin? But they actually abide not only by the European Union standards, but they go a step further than that. There's over 3,000 toxic ingredients that they ban from their products, which is extremely important that you're not pushing those into your bloodstream. So that's why people are seeing results so quickly. They actually took it a step further, and they have recently added in exosomes, and there's nanoliposomal technology in there, and there's also NMN. So NMN stimulates NAD production in your body, of course, which is kind of like our fountain of youth. NAD starts to decline as we get older, and then of course exosomes are like little tiny messengers that are going to tell your cells to produce more collagen, make healthier cells, create this plumper, fuller look. And that's why people are seeing results so quickly. And you don't have to resort to things that are going to tear down the skin barrier. Retinol, yes, it forces cell turnover, but over time, it actually thins the skin barrier and makes the problem worse. In Korean skincare, they do not believe in using retinols. They don't believe in using harsh ingredients that are going to tear down that barrier. And there are alternative ways to get away from the Botox and get away from the fillers and the retinol.
This is radically different. I mean, this is regeneration of the skin, not covering up and just poisoning it. Now, everyone's going to be interested in trying this for sure. I mean, I'm going to have to try it. What are the steps all our audience can do to get a hold of this product?
You guys are going to have a link for you, I believe.
Okay,
right?
cool.
So here's the most important thing. You have to think a little differently. Like I was real low maintenance. Like I barely want to wash my face. But I had testosterone injection. So I am on hormone replacement, only testosterone. I'm 52. So I started doing that a couple years ago. And I had some severe cystic acne from it. And so I was really pretty desperate. Nothing was working. I have very sensitive skin. And so it's because I started using this that I had like a 12-hour overnight response. So she said 5 to 7 days. I will tell you, if you're inflamed, you might see, I was in tears in the second day.
Me
because
too.
75% gone. I could not believe what I was seeing. Because I was desperate. And I said, it was, my gratitude was off the charts. And then I learned the product, what was in it. So I'll just say that. But the big thing with K-Beauty, which was new to me, was a double cleanse. I wasn't doing a double cleanse. And I was like, what is that? Why do we, at first I was like, why are there so many steps? Oh my God. I was a little bit whiny, a little crybaby about it. Now I look forward to it. If somebody would have told me back then that I would want to do everything, I would have never believed it. So a double cleanse is really, really important. So they believe in the oil cleanse and then the water-based cleanse. So we want to use the oil because it's a solvent. So it's straight up oil. And I know a lot of Americans just don't like, what do you mean? Why would I put oil on my face? But this oil in and of itself, the cleansers are healing. The cleansers have brightening and collagen forming molecules and peptides. And as you're doing it, again, you're doing lymphatic massage without even knowing it. You're giving vagal stimulation without knowing it. But the oil in and of itself is a solvent. And it goes very deep, and it's going to pull out the sebum. It's going to pull out clogged oils that are in the pores, smoke, pollution, smog, all these petroleum-based things. If you're living in a city, this is the most important thing. And you just rub it. It takes all the makeup off. It's incredible. Then you dry that. And then the second is called snow, the snow enzyme cleanser. So then you use enzymes, and a lot of them are from plants, papaya and other things. And it's going to break up the dead skin cells and the water, bacteria, water-based impurities. So then you're done and you have this incredibly receptive canvas that now, and none of those things damage the barrier. They're both repairing the barrier, by the way, unlike many things that we're doing. Then when you put the healing serums on, the booster, the serum, and then the cream, it's actually able to get in there and start restoring and repairing and regenerating and turning back the hands of time and letting your cells turn over at a much faster rate and actually impacting the telomeres, healing them on the DNA. It is reverse aging you for real. And it's bringing hydration. It's bringing that lava energy water. Why we say glow? Why do you glow? It's because the external light reflects off water. Why do babies just shine? Why does a pregnant woman glow? It's because of the hydration that's happening inside the cells. That's what's happening here topically. So we actually have found something that I can help a client, a patient do from the outside in, because it's going to take me a whole lot longer to change her diet and her behaviors. So if I want to win-win fast with them as I'm getting them to clean up what they're putting in their mouth and everything else, but I can't change the fact that I live in Atlanta. I can't change that there's things being pumped out from all the factories and then I'm in cities. I'm not moving. This is where I am. But every night and every morning, I can pull that back out with the solvent. So the double cleanse to me is so important. People always want, okay, I just want to get one cleanser. I'm like, listen, honey, please don't cheapen yourself here. I mean, it's like $30 each. This is so affordable. Oh, maybe Brianna, you want to mention this, because the brand, this man has done something I think is ridiculous, because what he could be charging if he had chosen to go the med spa route, none of us would. I mean, the prices on this, a cleanser is $30, and it's going to last you 2 to 4 months. That's unheard of. Yeah. So first, the double cleanse, and the price point is extraordinary.
And you don't have to use the makeup remover on your eyes, because that's what the oil will do. That's the other thing, is you don't have to use toxic products from the big box stores to start your evening routine. You just use the oil and it does it on its own while it's nourishing you. Take it away.
You know what's interesting is I was actually speaking to a master esthetician a couple weeks ago, and of course she was testing out this product line. The minute they hear Korean skincare, and the minute they hear exosomes, patented ingredients, nanoliposomal technology, Inamin, they're like, send it to me. I want to try it. So she tries this dermatology cream, and she said, for what this does, I expected this to cost between $300 and $400. She goes, I cannot believe this is priced at $60. She goes, how is this possible? But you have to realize that, the product formulator, who's the number one product formulator, his lab is the number one in Korea. His mission is to provide luxury skincare to the everyday woman. This could have been sitting in a high-end department store next to La Mer or in a med spa, but he wanted to be able to price this at a price point where a woman can, like Dr. Rimke was saying, is value herself, slow down and honor that tradition of taking time out for herself and honor her skin. So I love the price point. I will say that this sold 40 million jars in a country the size of the state of Indiana. Korea is not that big. It sold 40 million units of this alone. And that's why it's the number one searched for Korean skincare in the hardest market in the world to do that in.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. We've got to, this has got to get out there. I know I'm going to be ordering it for all the women in my family, and I'm going to be using it too. And now, each one of you, how can my audience follow you? Because this is, and learn more about what you do, how you do it, everything.
Yeah. I think the first thing is, where do I start? Which products make the most sense? There's a certain kit that is a great place to start, which you get the bare bones, and I'll let Bree speak to this. And then it's like, I got my products Now what do I do with them? Because it could be a little overwhelming. Like Dr. Rimka said, you get all these products, you're like, wow, what order do I go? So we want you all to know that exactly what to order for starters, for all basic skin types. And then from there, how to get help on that so that we're not getting, bombarded with a bunch of emails. We have a very streamlined approach to help everyone at one time because we are very busy with a lot of people who really want this stuff. And so I'll let Bree speak to that, and we'll have the links below on exactly where to go to order and then exactly where to go to get help too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I would say obviously their most popular is the dermatology cream, which we talked about was $60. Now, I highly recommend the Boo. Boo, this is a booster spray and a serum. It comes in a set. Now, you can probably grab all three of these for $150. It's going to last you a couple of months using it twice a day at a generous amount, but it's going to take you 5 days and you're going to see a difference. And don't take our word for it. Let the camera be the judge. Take a picture in front of a window, natural light. Let the camera show you the changes that are going to happen in your skin. And my favorite part is that when a woman has more confidence in the way that she looks in her skin, she's going to wear less makeup, which is less toxins and products that we're putting on the skin. And so now we have women who are having the confidence, to go to the grocery store and run errands without having to put makeup on their skin because it's actually healing that skin barrier.
Oh, I love that. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Yeah, really, at the end of the day, the amount of messages I've gotten from women who said, I can't believe how good, like in 20 years, I've never went out to the grocery store without makeup. Or even I have several physicians that I'm friends with, and they go, I've never felt like I was sexy. But suddenly I look at myself and I'm like, I feel sexy. I feel beautiful. I've never in my life felt like that. And you know what that does for their relationship with their husband, what it does for their marriage? It's incredible. It allows a woman to relax into herself, surrender into softness, let her receive. And that's a real struggle a lot of women are having. Slow down, receive, feel good. It's because she doesn't feel good enough for it. But when she can look in the mirror and be like, wow, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Look at me, because aging is a daunting process. We're grateful for it, but it is confusing. I'm sure you can not be your face wasn't gray before. And as you watch the face change, you're just kind of like, is that really me? Like kind of used to look different. It's a little disorienting to watch your own reflection, change over the years, even though we're grateful for it. I'm not trying to look 25, but I also want to look alive, and that's what we're giving people. They feel alive again. They feel more confident and they walk into a room differently. So it's having much more impact than just feeling beautiful. And that's what I really have enjoyed watching. And I did not expect to see the amount of positive mental health impacts. And that's why I've kind of went all in. And I realized this was an area I wasn't talking about enough. And I didn't have a really good solution. So now I do. And so we'll make sure you guys understand, so what Dr. Diane had was an experience kit. That's an option. They're travel sizes, and you can get like a 2 to 4 week amount to try everything out of all the steps. I would just say, please add the oil cleanser. I would add another cleanser to that, as where Brianna was showing you the full size bottles, and we'll make sure we have that on the link. You can see the pictures of what we recommend. I recommend at a bare minimum, the oil cleanser, booster serum, dermatology cream. Everybody start with a signature line. It's hydration based. It's water based. The second advanced line is moisture based. You'll graduate into that. Everybody should start here. We're going to assume a bad skin barrier. We're going to hydrate. We're going to give you your glow back. Take the picture. I'm telling you, most people don't want to believe it, but when we blow it up and side by side and look at this eye and this eye, you're like, wow, look at that. Again, if you have rosacea or acne, you'll probably see something more radical. But sometimes it takes the picture to see the difference. And you don't see it yourself. You'll say, I don't think it. And then you send the pictures to us and we're like, what are you talking about? You don't see that? But it's yourself, so you may not notice it. So definitely we'll have that. That's the basic. And then we'll have another more advanced kit that you can get a little bit more steps. There's up to 7 or 8 steps, but most people start a little bit slower. But that experience kit is very nice because it's trial sizes and it literally tells you every step. I just say, buy the oil cleanser because they couldn't figure out how to make the oil or snow in tiny sizes. The snow just explodes. So those cleansers, I think, are the most important thing to get started to really clean it, especially if you wear makeup.
We should see some before and after pictures too, if Bri wants to show exactly what Rimka's talking about, because the before and after pictures are almost hard to believe.
Men, women, and teenagers all use the same product. That's what's lovely here. It's the same thing.
Yeah, men can use girl stuff. It's
That's right.
I'm a totally confident male. So, yeah, these before and afters are incredible. I mean, yeah.
And you know what's neat is this is my forehead on the left. And I'm so honored to be able to share this with you, because we want women to know there are alternatives to Botox. And what this did for my forehead alone, just the changes and that the changes it continues to make, it gives me hope for other people that we can help show them that there are other ways. And then of course, my husband is in the middle. Now, Dr. B, I can't wait to see your results. We'll get you even more handsome, but it is really amazing what it does, not only for the pores, but the sunspots. You can see, I honestly don't know which one impresses me more. And then of course, this is a friend of mine on the right. You can see what it did for her rosacea and the skin tone. And, not only that, but teens with acne, it breaks my heart when I see them have to go and take some of these medications for acne and some of these really harsh chemicals that they're putting on their skin. They don't have to do that. There are other ways to heal the skin at the cellular level. And then if you'd like to see more of a progression photo, I love this picture on the right of my friend. You can see this is a 5-month progression photo where it's literally taken 10 years off of her face.
Wow. Yeah, the proof's in the telling. I mean, all of the stuff, all the links will be down below. Try it. I mean, the fact that it regenerates the skin, I mean, it gives the nutrients. It's non-toxic. It's good for you. Do you have any final parting words to inspire? I'm already inspired. I'm going to get the stuff. I'm off a suit now.
Do it for your children too. Do it for your mom. I mean, she is probably also using the very same things that, the elder market's being pushed to do these things. And hey, teenagers right now, they're telling them to start Botox at the age of like 15, 16 for wrinkle prevention. These are killing the nerves that don't grow back, and Botox can travel to other parts like the lungs and the heart and the bowels. And then you have paralyzed organs. And this is already setting up our young generation to have major autoimmune disease and other diseases in the future. We've seen cancer, brain cancer from fillers. This is not small. This is over time. It's poisoning your body. So we just ask that you give it a try. Just try it and look for yourself. We've had so many people say, I cannot believe I'm stopping Botox. I cannot believe I'm not using my fillers anymore. This was enough for me.
Yeah, I'll second that. Like that really has been, that's what I'm to me out here promoting, or what am I selling? I'm trying to save people from Botox and fillers at the end of the day. It's killing them sometimes immediately and definitely slowly, and it's often destroying their child's neurological development. That is of deep concern to me. I just happen to also love how it makes me feel and how it makes me look, and it gave me a solution to my own problem, and I'm forever grateful. And so that's why I'm out here sharing the message and helping as many doctors and med spas convert and use this. There is no true Korean skincare in Sephora or Ulta, by the way. There's some fairy dusted white labeling, a little bit of one or two products, but they're being made in China or, France or America or wherever, some back alley in Vietnam. I don't know, but they're not real Korean skincare like his is. This is also, by the way, it's not snail mucin or whale sperm or any of these other weird trends that people are talking about on TikTok. That is not what any of this is. So people will think like that's Korean skincare. I'm like, no, it's not. It's the outdated old way. Like that's like telling somebody you have a 20-year-old car. I'm like, they don't do that over in Korea anymore. You guys are really behind the times. So it's RIMAN and this technology that he has harnessed. So he's taken old, ancient nature, unique heritage and coupled it with Western science, microfluidization, NMN, exosomes, and made this perfect blend that we can all have access to now. So I'm forever grateful. So if you want any more information on brain health or health in general, they can follow me on Instagram. That's one of the best places to find me. is Dr. Rimka. But I'm also coming out with a new book that I think your audience might like. And if they are interested in any of this or my take on beauty, which is a little bit different, you can find me on yoursoulbeautiful.com.
Brianna, how can my audience follow you?
Instagram is always the easiest. So at Brianna.Michael, it's the French spelling of Michael. There's no A in there, but you can definitely find us there and hear more.
Awesome. Thank you all. This has been amazing and enlightening and hopeful too, because now people have a healthy alternative. So click the links below and God bless you all. Thank you so much. This has been fantastic.
I hope you enjoyed this panel interview and are as inspired as I was after I saw the possibilities Korean skincare offers, which is known as hands down the world's best natural approach to nurture your skin from the outside in and the inside out. If you're wondering how to give your body, beauty, and beard this upgrade, we recommend you start with the Essential or Signature Kit, then move on to the Advanced line in a couple of months because it works. Or my ritual is to use the Signature line in the morning and the Advanced line at night, infusing the Collagen 100 melting mask like once or twice per week, which before bed studies show improves the appearance of neck and eye wrinkles by 28.58 and 24.5% after just one use. If you're unsure where to start, you're welcome to take our free skin quiz, which you'll be guided on what's best for your skin type and exactly how to use the kits with videos and everything to get these photo finish results so you can ditch the filter apps and enrich your true inner beauty expressed on your skin. The link is below for you to learn more, take the quiz, and get started with your glow up routine so you can see what the buzz is all about and why we're passionate doctors preaching this to all of our patients. I'm Dr. Diane Kaiser, and I cannot wait to see your before and after pictures next. You won't believe your own eyes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the younger side.